We just finished swimming with the turtles, which was definitely high on our bucket list of things to do. And in this video, we're gonna share with you how we did that. We squeezed it all into those 4 days and did it on a budget. So, where can you swim with the turtles? We found that you can swim with turtles at the U.S. Virgin Islands. So first off, we decided to invite some friends on this adventure, and we love involving friends on adventures. Not only does it help with cost, but it also doubles our fun, gives us memories that will last a lifetime with our friends. Reed and Ashley are the friends that joined us on this adventure.
Not only does adventures with friends bring you closer together, gives you great memories together, but you can split a rental car, you can split an Airbnb, and you can split the groceries. So this is my Lawson, St. John, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands trip.
Another way that we saved money on this trip is we decided to tent camp in the national park. Tent is all set up, and right over there is the ocean. Picnic table and the grill. So there's many different ways that you can stay in the national park on St. John. We chose the camping route. So for $50, we were able to get us a campsite.
We ended up flying from Orlando to St. Thomas and took Spirit Airlines this time, and I think the flight was around $120 a piece. So
once you're on St. Thomas, you're gonna have to get over to St. John is where the national park is. But since we flew in kind of late on the night we arrived at St. Thomas, we decided to do an Airbnb and to get our grocery shopping stuff.
And the rental car.
And the rental car, get it all together before we did that the next morning. So we rented from Enterprise, actually shuttled you over to the Enterprise car lot where we picked out our car and we got on the road.
The next morning we got up bright and early, hopped in the rental car and headed over to the ferry departure area. We bought a ticket for Red Hook to put the car on. The guy told us there's 2 different ferry services that go back and forth, and it's actually better not to buy the ticket until you get here, because if you get here and the other ferry service is ready to go, you can't get on that barge or that ferry if you bought the other service. So they recommended you just wait till you get here.
And once you arrive at the campground, Cinnamon Bay Campground, they're gonna give you a map like this and get you all checked in.
We have checked in here at Cinnamon Bay, and the check-in staff is wonderful. She told us everything about it, but she did get on to me for pushing a button over there.
I did not.
She asked me how old I was.
You were acting 5 years. I sure was.
What button did you push?
Nothing. I didn't push it.
Yes, you did. Did you push the red or the green one?
The green one. I didn't see emergency use till after I pushed the green one.
Well, at least you didn't push the 911 one.
Hang on, because I am 911 on fire.
Golly. Do not push that button.
Good, thank you.
We're here at Cinnamon Bay. We got our parking spot. And they have these nice little carts for us to load up our belongings. Head down to the tent section.
We've got enough here for 2 weeks.
I came at the right time.
had a really good cafe, I guess is what you call it. They served breakfast and supper there. It was a little on the expensive side, but the food was very good. So if you don't want to worry about packing the food, you can always get breakfast and supper there at the campground.
You can also take your food. There are grills at each campsite. The bathroom facilities were fantastic.
They had outside showers, which was sort of cool.
Here is a wash station for dishes. And it looks like they have soap, foot wash station. They have a men's restroom and a women's restroom. And make sure no one's in. And here are the shower facilities. I took a shower last night. It's got soap on the wall. A push button. Very nice. Looks like there's 3 of them. And then a handicap.
They were completely enclosed. You were in a little individual stall by yourself, but it was outside showers.
Once you arrive at the national park, you'll want to pick up one of these maps. And we chatted with the ranger at the ranger station, and she told us of some great places. We wanted great snorkeling. We had packed our snorkel gear to bring with us, and we wanted to see these turtles. So she told us of some great places. The first place we snorkeled was Brown Bay. And Brown Bay, you have to hike into it. It was about a mile hike. And we parked at Hermitage Ruins, little parking area, and hiked the Brown Bay Trail.
So we are at, oh man, I forgot the name. Brown Bay. And we're getting ready to head out and go do a little snorkeling. So the prettiest snorkeling for coral and fish that we saw was at Brown Bay.
That evening, we had heard that Mahu is really, really crowded and that you should go later in the day. And when we got there, it was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
So a lot of the day trip people were leaving.
On St. John, we did kind of drive around to familiarize ourselves with some of the areas. We were able to find goats on the side of the road, and
there were cows on the side of the road and chickens.
So that was super cool. And a donkey that wanted to say hello.
Hi, darling. I don't have any food for you. And they said don't feed you, so I don't know what to do. Redo something.
So the second day, we got to Trunk Bay. They say to get to Trunk Bay super early before the crowds get there, and we did. You had to pay to get into Trunk Bay.
How much was it?
It was a couple of dollars. It wasn't very much. However, we thought it was a letdown.
It just was not as pretty as Brown Bay.
On Trunk Bay, they had the trail, the underwater trail, so you could swim from buoy to buoy and read the little signs, like facts about different things you could read, which was kind of neat, but I don't think it was worth paying for. On this day, we also went to the sugar mill ruins, which we found very interesting. And I don't know if we would have went there if me and my friend Ashley had not picked up a Junior Ranger book. But in the Junior Ranger book, it wanted you to tour the ruins and do some activities in here. And thank goodness we did all of our activities. And now we can say we're Virgin Island Junior Rangers. But anyway, that was super fun.
So we did make plans to eat out for lunch that day. We had been told the Windmill restaurant was one of the best views you could get on the island. It was on top of the peak of the island, and you could just almost see 360 degrees all the way around. It was gorgeous. I got ice cream. I think Reed and Ashley got some kind of appetizer thing. We didn't eat a heavy meal there, but it was truly worth going to see. But they do say if you go in the evening, it is very, very crowded. So that's why we decided to go at lunch.
So our favorite snorkeling that we got to do was at Saltpond Bay, and it just had it all. It was also a small hike in. How long do you think? It wasn't very long.
Half a mile to maybe 3/4 of a mile, a little bit downhill going there, so uphill coming back, but it was not a hard hike. I did it in sandals again, no problem.
Right. The parking does kind of get full. The Saltpond Bay, luckily we were able to squeeze in there. When we arrived, there were donkeys, jackasses on the beach, walking around being jackasses. They were trying to eat everybody's food and lunch, and they were actually a pest.
They were sort of harassing people by just coming up to everybody wanting you to feed them. So there's signs up all over the place not to feed the animals because it hurts, but apparently people do because they were no strangers for begging for food.
It reminded me of Yogi Bear trying to get into people's picnic baskets.
Picnic baskets.
But anyway, we thought that was super cool. So of course we had to take a million pictures with the donkeys on the beach.
But then when we got in the water itself, it was the clearest, prettiest water that we saw. Stingrays, we saw turtles.
We saw the manta ray here, right?
The manta ray was here.
Oh, it was so big and beautiful.
Now, there was not as much coral here, so there was not as much little fish here, but the sea turtles and the stingrays were just incredible.
We spent the most time snorkeling here, I believe. We did this adventure the first week of May, and we found the island to be quite pleasant. Not too crowded, not too empty. It was just about perfect.
Temperatures were good. It was a little on the warm side. I was a little warm at night, but I wasn't sweating, and I definitely wasn't cold.
Okay, so this is St. Thomas. We took the car ferry from St. Thomas over to Cruz Bay. From Cruz Bay, we came up this way to Cinnamon Bay. Cinnamon Bay is where the campground is. Brown Bay, one of our favorite snorkeling areas, was way over here. And then one of our other favorite spots was Saltpond Bay. So this is a little bit of a trek to the other side of the island. Our favorite snorkeling. Here is Trunk Bay. And then where's the windmill?
The windmill is somewhere right along in here. I don't think it's marked on the map. Okay. Here to here, right here, somewhere.
Okay. Well, we have came to the end of our stay here at Cinnamon Bay on St. John's, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and let me tell you, we have only spent 2 days here. We could have spent a whole week here. It has been a fabulous trip. I hope definitely our adventure here has sparked some adventure in you, and you want to come and do this. If you need any help, always just drop me a comment there. Okay, so we are done. We've all packed up. We have had a fabulous time. Have y'all had a fabulous time? Woo! Great time. We saw turtles and jackasses.
We can bring in a few home with us too.
Stingrays,
Yes, and
fish.
yes, mongoose. Oh, iguana.
Iguana. The iguanas. So this is definitely an adventure that everyone should check out. Super doable.
Hermit crab.
Coolest thing ever. Thank you for sharing.
Three of them.
There's a big
There's a
one.
whole bunch of them. I hear them in here.
This makes me so happy. Oh my gosh. That's massive. Reed, he's gonna come